Hello, I am Michael Paul Gibson. Please subscribe to my channel. You can find it by typing Michael Paul Gibson. Please, when you're there, please click on subscribe. And it costs you nothing. It's easy to do, and it will help me bring these videos to you. This is my introductory video of my new series, Trombone Lessons, How to Get Back into Shape After 30 Years Off. Here is my story. Playing the trombone has been the greatest influencing factor that has guided my life. The first question is, why in the world did I choose to play the trombone? Well, when I was 2 years old, living in Appleton, Wisconsin, I stepped out onto the porch one evening at about 10 p.m. to greet my grandma, who had just come from Denver. It was snowing, and there was lots of snow all over the ground. Well, my grandma reached in her purse, pulled out a package, and gave me a welcoming gift. And it was a little toy trombone made out of metal. That's what they were made out of back in those days. I have no idea why she gave me a toy trombone. Maybe it was because my grandpa, who was also standing in the snow at the door, was a trumpet player. My dad was a violinist and still is a violinist. My mom was a pianist, and my grandma played pretty good piano herself. Maybe she thought I should be a trombone player. Who knows? In any case, that trombone must have really stuck in my mind, because when it came time for me to choose an instrument to play, I chose the trombone. I chose the trombone in the 4th grade and began with trombone lessons from Ronald Rocco in the 5th grade. Then I almost died of nephritis, which was kidney failure, after a severe bout with the Asian flu, which was going around. 12 out of the 14 patients with nephritis in Monroe Hospital at the time died. Only my childhood sweetheart, when we were 5 years old, Cheryl Miller, and I survived. After 2 weeks in the hospital, I went home and had to stay home, mostly in bed and on the couch, for at least 2 or 3 months. I had to finish the last 2 months of 5th grade at home. Luckily, my wonderful 5th grade teacher, Mrs. DeVoe, came to the house a couple of times and helped me finish the class for the year. My fabulous mom helped me get through the 5th grade. She was a magnificent teacher, and later she got a full-time position teaching French and English at Brodhead High School. She actually was my French teacher. Her tutelage at home during this sickness taught me how to study, how to memorize data, how to sort things out, and much, much more. She really put me ahead of the curve. I persevered with the trombone and loved my lessons from Mr. Rocco. He was a great trumpet player and a great teacher. In the 7th grade, I played in the Brodhead grade school band, and there I got my first conducting opportunity when Mr. Rocco asked if anyone wanted to try to conduct the band. Well, I was afraid to volunteer, so my standmate Lenny Speth raised his hand and said, "Mike Gibson wants to try." That's how I got my start as a conductor. It was thrilling, and I loved it. Before the year ended, however, Mr. Rocco had to go into the military to help fight the Korean War. Mr. Rocco's replacement for the new band director position was Mr. Clifford Kyler, and on the way to the gig, he got in a car accident. Well, band practice was going to be canceled until Mr. Kyler arrived, which was uncertain, and it turned out to be about 2 weeks. After my exciting experience conducting the band, I got all the band members to sign a petition to keep the band practice going during the time we were waiting for Mr. Kyler to begin his new job. This was so the band would not get rusty and not get out of shape while we were waiting for our next band director. I volunteered to conduct the band rehearsals in the interim. I presented the petition to the principal, himself a drummer, and he said yes, and he would come down and play bass drum in the band and keep order during rehearsal, which he did. So I conducted the band for about 2 weeks. I loved it. In the 8th grade, I began trombone lessons with Jay Main, who lived all the way over in Janesville, Wisconsin. I had to get rides to Janesville, which was about a 30-40 minute drive every Saturday, and my wonderful mother took me over there every time. She is great, was great, and I really thank her for that. When I became 16, of course, I started driving. Jay Main was by far the best trombone teacher in the area. And he also taught school. I think he taught grade school. One of his students even played in the Chicago Symphony, which getting into the Chicago Symphony as a trombone player is next to impossible. Mr. Main said to me at the very first lesson that he would teach me as long as I came prepared to every lesson. I then practiced every other day after school. During high school, I practiced 2 hours a day after school. In the summer, I practiced 4 hours a day prior to going to summer music clinic at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, which was just fabulous. For 2 weeks, I got to live in a college dorm, went to music classes, band rehearsals, orchestra rehearsals, music theory classes, and much more. I attended music clinic 4 times after grade school and then all through high school. Please subscribe to my channel, Michael Paul Gibson. The rest of the high school story, college story, and then military story in the Air Force will be included in my YouTube trailers video series. So please check back regularly for more installments. Take a look at my playlists. And when you see one of my videos and you like it, please click like. Also, please leave comments or questions, and I will try to answer every single one of them. Well, I became a professional trombonist, and then life happened. I got so busy conducting orchestra, chorus, church choir, musical shows, and creating websites, doing marketing for concerts, selling tickets, managing personnel, and that was the hardest, and managing venues, and finally a little time to study the music. But I'm telling you, I did not have enough time to practice the trombone. And if you don't practice the trombone or play it all the time, you lose it. First you lose your chops, That's the muscles around your mouth. And then you lose your breathing and breath control. And once you have lost all of that, there's no way that you can play. So for the most of the rest of 30 years, I didn't play the trombone. I have started getting back in shape a couple of months ago, so I won't sound quite as bad as I did then, but I thought I would do these lessons in order to share what I do, and it may help several other people who might be in the same boat do the same thing. So we'll hope that that happens. And now I am completely committed to playing the trombone well again as soon as possible. In other words, get back into shape after 30 years off. My first trombone lesson, which will be part 1, will be on my YouTube channel, Michael Paul Gibson, in the very near future. So please check back often, and I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that you'll watch the future ones. And I hope I'll be able to help you learn how to get back into shape after your long time of not playing the trombone. Thank you very much for watching again, and see you later.